Lightworkers Roundtable. kdmoonchild's world. I'm Katie, and I am so excited to welcome my guest, Kim from Intuitiview.
I'm finally here.
Hey, welcome everybody. Hi, Jenny and Marvita and Teresa Levine. Sunlight, hi. Sunlight's new. Welcome. Like all of you guys that are new here, we're here to talk and chat about how we raise our vibes. You know, we're not always feeling, you guys watch us as we're reading cards and we're telling you what you need to do to raise your vibes. Just so you know, sometimes we feel like we're in a vacuum doing that because our energy's pooped out. So we're going to talk about what we do to get that quick recharge to keep going. And, keep the giggles happening.
Yeah.
So, Kim.
Yes.
You do so many exciting things. My gosh. Talented lady. No, I think the thing I like to watch you do that I want to learn more about is automatic writing.
Oh. Well, when I'm scribbling, yes. I'm just scribbling. I'm doing things like this. I just scribble. I don't, and I usually are like pictures or all kinds of things. You know, sometimes it comes out like that. It really is. Depends on what I'm reading, who I'm reading, but I'm really just kind of, it's a meditative practice. So it just gets me kind of in that kind of meditative state where your consciousness is just a little bit right here, normally I'm here and I just shift into that. That's where I read from. And it just helps me to get there more quickly. I found when I first started my channel, I would do all the work off camera and then I would come and say, this is what I got. And I learned that part of the reason I was doing this was to teach other people. So I started to do the process on camera so I could explain what was happening and how this was happening. And I just found that the scribbling and drawing, it just helped me to get in a meditative state quickly so I could do it on camera.
Awesome. I just want to post this. Mama Redneck, blessings to you, sweet lady. God bless you and bless your sister, your family. You'll make it. You can do this with her dad and stepmom. My prayers are with you, sweetheart, and rejoice that she's free from her body. Blessings, sweet lady. Yes.
And the funeral is so important. And if I could just share with you, Mama.
Absolutely.
Mama R3DN3. How do you say
Mama
that?
Redneck. Oh. You know that she has to put the 3s in her name because redneck is one of those words that YouTube will not allow.
Oh, got it. Okay, Mama Redneck.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. So Mama Redneck, one of the most divine experiences I ever had was at a funeral. And it was my dad's cousin's wife. My dad and my mom and his cousin and his wife would do all kinds of traveling together. And she passed away. And my dad leaves us dimes. That's what he does for his girl. I have 4 sisters, and all of us get dimes all over the place at weird times.
I know someone else that spirit does that for their daughter.
Oh, really? Okay, so so that's what he does. So he would leave my mom, and my mom just passed away in August, but he would leave all of us dimes all the time. So I went to this funeral, and I was sitting in the funeral, and I just kind of allowed myself to feel her spirit there. And you can do this, Mom Redneck. It is not hard. You just allow. Close your eyes and just imagine that they're there. And it felt like the room was filled with her spirit. I mean, I could feel, I just felt like she was touching every single, and it was a big place. And I felt like she was touching every single person there. And when I stood up, And it was the most amazing experience. And I just sat in that. I just basked in it, basically, because when their spirit comes out of their body, Mama Redneck, just so you know, it expands, because we've been confined in this tiny little body, right? We're all confined.
I call it our fleshly bits. Yeah, I call it our fleshly bits.
Absolutely. So when they come out, that is exactly the word to use, released, because that spirit just expands. And just allow yourself to feel that. And when I stood up, I turned around to leave, and on the seat where I was sitting, it was a dime. And I heard in my mind's ear, I got her. So my dad was just letting us know she made it. She's there. He's got her. And I picked up the dime and gave it to my mom, and I said, I think that's for you. She made it. She's fine. He's got her. And but funerals they're so important, right, for healing.
Yes.
But also they can be amazing places to have amazing experiences as well, and feel the spirit of everybody there and the person that you're saying goodbye to.
Yeah, I had an experience that's kind of similar to that, not with the dime, but I used to always get kind of, I didn't like going to funerals because I like to remember people the way they were alive instead of having that final memory of them being gone.
Yeah.
And so I didn't like going to them, and it just felt uncomfortable for a long, long time. And then I went to one at the Unitarian Church, a funeral at the Unitarian Church. And it was a celebration of transformation. They're going on the trip of a lifetime. Bon voyage. I was like, yes. Then I had the blessing to be able to just be standing next to my father, touching him when he passed. And all I could feel was, bon voyage, Daddy, go for it. And it's, now I don't have that. Death is not something that's a hang up for me in any way. So I'm afraid of the pain that might happen in the act of it, but I'm not even afraid of that because I don't think you feel it.
Yeah,
I think
that's very true.
Spirit spares you from that.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of that. And it sounds like you kind of, and we're talking about vibration, but it sounds like you found a way that it's almost grief through joy. It kind of fit your vibration, that the way that you found a way to grieve in a way, but it's more through joy and through, like we're talking about, releasing and letting go and saying, have a great trip. I'll see you, I'll see you at some point. I'll see you again.
Pastor put it, don't be sad when someone's passed, because look at it this way. If your loved ones won a trip, a world cruise, it's going to take them off for a year. Oh, you're really going to miss them while they're gone, but are you going to say, oh no, I'm going to miss you, don't go? You're going to say, woohoo, go for it. Send me lots of postcards, And so that's how I look now. My mother, when she passed away 3 years ago, and that's how I look. At first, it was the shock of, oh, wow, my best friend is gone. And then it was, oh, wow, she's young again. She's not 97 years old anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
Fly, mama, fly. And I still to the day, she was my best friend, so I miss her a lot. But at the same time, she's one of my spirit guides. She's right here. She's always right here.
That's it. I mean, that's what you miss, right? You miss that. You miss the physical. You miss the sound of their voice and touching. Giving them a hug and things like that. Yeah.
She'd walk by and pat your arm, and that was her way of saying, "I love you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have it. It's just it's still, you still maintain the relationship. It's just different. It's just different. You connect in a different way. Here it was physical. You connected through the physical, and now you just connect in a different way. You connect through spirit, and it's still continuing the relationship.
Absolutely. Once in a while, my father, I'll know his spirit's around because I'll smell cigarettes, coffee, and maple syrup and bacon.
Oh my gosh.
Pancakes and bacon was our every Saturday morning, and he was a smoker. So that's what I would wake up to every Saturday morning.
I
Now, I
can.
know that's my dad. It's funny. It's yeah. And it's cool when you these things are awakening in you.
Yeah.
And you realize that, oh, whoa, wait, that's cool. That's my dad's spirit is right here with me. He's not gone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the biggest leaps in my, and maybe this is true for you too, Katie, the biggest leaps that I've had in my abilities is right after someone passes.
Yes.
Because I always say when they leave the door open. That's what I always say. Yeah, exactly. Because and so I'm sure that Mama Redneck will start having signs. She'll start getting messages, and then it begins. And that is always a trigger for a lot of people is a death. That's when you start to awaken because you have that connection already. So you recognize it. And it's easier to plug into somebody that you're close to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, my sympathies are with you and your family, Mama Redneck, but at the same time, I'm rejoicing for your daughter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know where to get a hold of me, my sweet lady. She's, yeah. So we're in a couple communities together. So it's pretty cool. What you do, back to your channel and what all you do, you have a website and I love like your women on women.
Ladies night.
We do so much. You and Debbie and Andrea and you and Debbie and and
I love doing that. And that's the only like channeling that the closest thing to channeling that I do. And I think that I like the support of two other women with me. I like the support of someone, it just takes the pressure off and we can just have fun and kind of, if one person doesn't get something, another person will, you don't have that pressure.
And it's always beautiful. And the lessons are amazing. One person I wish I could channel is Harriet Tubman. I used to belong to a women's organization that she was kind of our patron saint of the organization. We studied her perseverance, her strength, her love, her determination. What a woman. Wow. She was a spy for the Union Army as well.
Oh, that's right.
And it was illegal for women to own property. But they couldn't give her a medal. So Frederick Douglass gave her a home. And that was a real big scandal because she was a Black escaped slave. And he gave her a home. So people in the South freaked. So, But what a lady. She personally saved 374 slaves, walked them personally to Canada.
Amazing. And I mean, the courage of that to get out yourself and then to help others out, because once you think, well, I'm out, I'm done, I'm not gonna, but the idea to go back and to help
and go back
other people, that is a kind of bravery that,
she just did it repeatedly.
Stunning. Yeah.
She's quite a lady. When study about her when she was a child, she was barely old enough to hold on to a baby, but she was in charge of taking care of the baby.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine.
And she wasn't allowed to touch any of the stuff in the kitchen or anything because that wasn't her job. And she had this thing for sugar cubes. They just looked so tempting to her. She's just this little child, like 5 years old. So nobody was watching. She didn't think anybody was in the room. And she took a sugar cube and put it in her mouth. And as soon as she put it in her mouth, the master's wife had walked in and screamed at her. She ran out and hid for a week in the pigsty because she was afraid that they would kill her for eating a piece just eating one sugar cube. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite a woman. Quite a woman.
Amazing.
She tried to get her husband to go with her to help her do this, and he wouldn't go because he was afraid of being free. He didn't know any different, so he didn't know what it would be like to be free.
Right. You get, yeah. And I mean, you see that all the time, right? People staying in abusive places or abusive homes just because that's what's familiar. It's not that it's okay or they like it. It's what's familiar. So that's what they know, you know?
Yes. Yeah. I was looking at your website earlier today. What a pretty website. I love it.
Oh, thank you. I love the water.
Me too. I'm an Aquarius. Go figure.
I'm a Scorpio, so I'm the same. I'm the water. But yeah, I love the water. It's just calming. The sound of it, the smell of it, the ocean. You know, I grew up in the Bay Area, so I've always been by the ocean.
There you go.
So that the smell of the ocean, the sounds, the visuals are beautiful. So
I love the smell.
I can get lost in it, you know.
My dad used to go, "Oh, it smells like fish. I hate the ocean." I'm like, and the clearest, cleanest smell I can think of is the ocean. I love the smell of the ocean.
Me too.
I grew up in Oregon, so yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, so yeah.
Yeah. So
Oregon has a beautiful coast.
Oh, rugged and cold.
Yeah, it's cold. It's a cold coast, but it's beautiful.
It is gorgeous. It's really pretty.
Yeah.
I actually am kind of drawn to. I'm in Tucson. I'm wanting to go back up north again, and I'm looking at Long Beach, Washington.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have a nephew that lives in Washington.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Long Beach is
like
3 miles of beach that you can drive a car on and stuff. That's unusual in the state of Washington.
Wow, yeah.
But there you get, like in this time of year, razor clams. You know, we're talking great big clams. I could live off of those things.
I was going to say, if you love water, that sounds like the place to be. And how do you survive if you love water and you like to be by water, how do you survive in the desert?
I grow lots of plants in my garden.
Yeah.
You know, and I've learned to appreciate the desert plants.
Yeah.
Tucson is a higher elevation than Phoenix. And so it's a little cooler. And the wildlife is crazy. I went outside yesterday, just, you know, check it. I had planted I broadcast a whole bunch of pansy seeds and stuff, see what was going to come up in my yard. And that's a winter flower here. We grow pansies in the winter. By the time April and May comes around, it's too hot. They cook. So I'm out there looking to see what maybe I got any sprouts coming up. And I hear, you know, the sound of a hawk.
Oh, yes.
And it was so close. The sound went right through me. I was like,
oh my gosh.
Whoa, took my breath away. Where are you? So I'm looking up. Where are you? And I can peek around the tree. There's 3 red-tailed hawks sitting on the electrical wire right in front of me. And the one in the middle was the biggest one. And he was the one who was like, what the hell?
Making his presence known.
Oh, wow. So all I could do was just keep walking towards them and go, hi. Oh, wow. Hi. And then they one by one flew off. It was just like, hi there. It's worth going out and checking out my flowers.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing, right? Every landscape has that nature and the beauty. And I went to Scottsdale, Arizona, and I loved it. I thought it was just so unique and so different than where I'm from. And I was mesmerized by the plants, and everybody's yard was different, and it was very.
And up there they have lawns. We don't have. Only people who have lawns here are people in the really old, wealthy neighborhoods. Where they've had Bermuda grass growing forever and ever and ever. Otherwise, it's not stale.
Rock gardens and stuff, and I thought, I'm going to do a rock garden, and that's what I have a rock garden because
I'm an advocate of everyone doing away with their lawn. It's the biggest waste of water it pollutes the ground with the fertilizers, and it's a lot of dang trouble. Who needs it? You know,
Yeah,
I have pea gravel. I have pea gravel for a lawn.
Yeah, it's fine.
Works great. All my flowers, though, grow in pots because there's a fungus in the ground here that kills stuff.
Oh, right.
But that's okay. I love growing in pots. I got great big ones. I have one that I can sit inside, so that's where the tomatoes grow. So, my dear, tell me a little bit about your movie club.
Oh, well, I have a club. It's called the Intuit Club, and you can join if you want. It's you just hit the join button on any video, and we do I do a recorded spirit guided message at the beginning of the month, and then twice a month I do mini readings. It's the only, on my regular channel, I don't do personal questions ever, just because I feel like it's too, it's not very personal, so I like a smaller group to do that. So it's the only place I do personal readings is in the club. And then in the middle of the month, we're starting a movie club. We have a book club, and it's going to be every quarter. We're going to do a book. And then we have a movie club, and in December, our movie is It's a Wonderful Life.
Yes.
And you're going to have different kinds of movies, some documentaries or, some, regular, just secular movies, and pull out the spiritual messages in these movies.
Oh, that's so fun.
Talk about it.
I've done a couple of the similar on Tarot Love Community's channel.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I also did one with Red Lentil Healing. She and I both did. We talked about with Allie, Spiritual Connect, Spirit Connect. And we did the Wizard of Oz. And it was really fun working with Adrian, because Adrian and I both have the same degree. We both have master's degrees in creative writing. We were script writers. And bless her, she actually got to work in a writer's room. I haven't, but yeah. So
that is interesting. That's my daughter's favorite movie, is The Wizard of Oz.
Really?
She loves The Wizard of Oz, and she's a screenwriter, so she's right there with you. Yeah.
Awesome. That's what Aiden wants to do too.
That's you gotta yeah, that's right. I talked to Aiden, that's right. And
I went to Full Sail University in Winter Park, Florida. Right? Not too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh, a good school. I loved it. I had a blast.
There are a lot of great film schools and film departments in schools. There really are. I mean, Cassie went in the UK, but there are a lot of them. There are some really good ones.
That's what I would love to write for the UK, but think that's a little different than it is here. Well, the English language is a little bit more formal in England.
Yeah, for sure.
It depends on if you're writing novels. If you're writing novels, then it doesn't matter, because you have to have conversations.
Right. So, exactly. But yes, but The Wizard of Oz has a lot of amazing messages, especially for women. I think it has a lot of messages for women in that movie. About following your heart and listening to that inner voice, and all of these kinds of messages that are so important, especially it was very influential for Cassie as a little girl, about the idea of spreading your wings and not being afraid and going out, and finding new friends and finding new things. And it's a very, very special movie to her. So
kind of like her. I can remember, I think I was 4 the first time I saw it. My mom was ironing a sheet. Can you believe that? My mother used to iron sheets.
I can't. My mom used to iron our play clothes. So yes, I can believe that.
Anyway, I can remember hiding under the ironing board in between. The sheet was like this over the ironing board, and I'm hiding under the ironing board, and there's a sheet on each side of me, watching the monkeys fly because they scared me so bad.
Oh my God. Well, they're still scary. And the witch and the monkeys are still scary.
But you know, when somebody comes to me and starts to tell me gossip or whatever, that's my favorite saying. Not my circus, not my monkey. My monkeys fly. And they're like, oh. Yeah, that's one of my favorite sayings. So yeah. And then that witch always scared me.
Mm-hmm.
The question that we always came up with was, she really the evil one, or was it the one that the house landed on that was the problem?
Right. Well, now they have Wicked, so it has the backstory of the
backstory of all the sisters. Exactly. Oh, and that's a terrific show too. I watch Mateo Lane. He's a comedian. Got really popular on TikTok, and now he's on YouTube. My gosh, he and his partner went to he's Italian and Mexican, and they went to the Olive Garden, and he's like, Italians never eat at the Olive Garden.
Right. Yeah, I know our Italian food is not their Italian food.
No. He's like, I really shouldn't even be seen in this place. But by the time they got through with their dinner and stuff, I was tears rolling down my face. I was laughing so hard. One of the waiters dropped a tray of dishes right beside me.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Hilarious. My God, since she loves Mateo. He's hilarious. Artist, opera singer, comedian.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Really talented dude.
That's a crime to have that much talent. Yeah, that's amazing.
And he's gay and he's wonderful. So
oh, how nice.
Yes. Mateo Lane. Check him out. He's hilarious. Oh my goodness. My favorite one of his is his video on advice. He gives out advice to people.
Oh, okay.
Really funny. Anyway, yes.
Nice. Yeah.
At this point, I'm looking, we're almost halfway through. Wow. Time goes so fast.
It does. It really does.
Yeah. At this point, you don't pull cards. Do you do card reading at all?
I don't use cards. I mean, I do for my family. I do for my daughter to validate, because I don't trust myself as much. I know I can get in the way with stuff with people that I'm very close to, but so I use them for that, but I really don't use cards. I have my surrender cards, which I love. So I will pull a surrender card. I can pull a card. I also have one of our students that is in our master class. She did the 9 Worlds cards. These ones, they're gorgeous cards. They're everyday art cards, and they have all of these. You can use them for feng shui. I'm going to have her on my channel to kind of explain all the ways you can use them. But they have beautiful pictures. Like this one's shells, and at the bottom it says inclusion. And then, it has just different, this one is presence, and it's a beautiful ocean wave. They're beautiful cards. And she's an artist, so she's,
Would you like to pull a card?
Sure.
I got one here too.
Okay. I'm going to pull out my surrender cards. I just thought of those are new cards and
these cards, I love these cards. They're giant. Hard to shuffle.
I like the giant. These ones are giant too. I like the giant cards.
But then messages are really simple, and every single one of them is uplifting.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
So what are we pulling for? For the group?
We're just pulling for the collective. What's the general message
okay.
for us to help us with our vibes?
Say that again.
Help us, whatever the general message is, to help us with our vibes.
Okay.
It's like thinking, yeah, sunlight. That's like thinking Taco Bell is Mexican food or Panda Express is Chinese. I call it cold. That's what I call both of those, because every time I order from either one of those places, it's always cold.
Oh, I do love Taco Bell, and I love Panda Express. I love both those. So.
I was gonna say Taco Bell, though, I get in a mood where I will like.
Oh yes, no, that's definitely a craving food. That for sure,
yes.
For sure.
Hi, Tony Baker, good to see you. So. You're my guest. Please go first. What'd you get for your?
I got so I'm using my surrender cards. They're these ones that says the power. Oops, you see those? The power of surrender.
Ooh.
And they're beautiful. On the back of them looks like this.
Ooh, pretty. I'm going to do this.
And then I got surrender.
I'm here.
Oh, I see. Okay, you just let me have the screen. Okay.
I put you in the hot seat.
I put surrender to your soul's path. How perfect is that? These cards are kind of scary. They're always right on point. I love them. But and it says your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
And it's perfect going into the holidays. I think that's a perfect message.
Absolutely. Well, mine is real simple.
All right.
Someone was asking questions in a live chat about a quetzalcoatl. That is a salamander from South America.
Oh,
okay. The Incas and those guys, they worship them. But anyway, this card has a little salamander on it, and he looks a lot like
how cute.
And it says, you're going to get through this just fine.
Yep.
And we are. You can feel it. Like I was saying earlier, I felt, energy changed. Thanksgiving, that new moon, right around Thanksgiving, something happened.
Something we were talking about that before we got on, that something is going on, that it just the energy feels lighter.
Yeah. It's different. It's different. Even the things that the crazies are saying that used to upset me now makes me laugh.
Right.
It's like, there's no way. Come on. Okay. Follow through with that one. I want to see you enforce that law.
Right.
Law's only as good as you can have enforcement for it. So.
Right. Exactly. And as far as raising your vibration or what were you gonna say something? I'm sorry.
Sunlight is asking why there's no Lord of the Rings themed Oracle deck or Tarot deck. There is.
Oh, there is.
Go check on Amazon. Has it?
Oh.
Yeah, it's relatively new. There've been a lot of new decks come out recently.
There are decks for almost every theme you can think of.
Yeah, this is a popular one in on my channel. This is the Metaphysical Cannabis Oracle cards.
Oh my gosh. They really do have everything.
Yeah, this deck is beautiful. It's starts out by talking about they found charred seeds in a bowl that they've dated back to 3,800 years.
Oh my gosh.
They have been growing and cultivating and using cannabis in ceremonies bring in the according to the guidebook in here, the divine feminine is who cannabis is connected to. I'm going, of almost 4,000 years of ceremonies that's connected with it. That kind of tells you something, huh?
I say, we kind of blew it in the West here.
Yeah.
I know what we were doing, what we were thinking, but is it legal in Arizona?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah.
Legal in
Yeah, it's legal
California.
recreational. Actually, I grow it.
Yeah.
But I have fibromyalgia, and 3 of my doctors prescribed it to me. So I grow my own medicine, and you know what kind of power that feels?
Oh, yeah.
Because I know exactly what's in it. It's all 100% organic. I don't put chemicals in it. And yeah, it saves your lives. It can definitely.
Yeah.
So, I actually broke a couple of ribs. And when the doctor, it was during Omicron.
Oh, right.
And they told us here, unless you can't breathe or having a heart attack, stay away from the emergency room, go to urgent care. So, but I had to go to the emergency room because I couldn't hardly breathe.
Oh my gosh.
And they couldn't do it was like the second to the last rib, which when it breaks,
painful. Yeah.
That's a floater. That's when they have a tendency to want to pin because it can puncture a lung.
Oh
if you move wrong, it can puncture a lung. They couldn't do that because they didn't have a bed for me. So he wrote me a prescription for Percocet and Flexeril, and he was like, I hope you have someone that can like bring you food and stuff because you really shouldn't move. And I was like, oh yeah, I do. No, I don't. But you know. Anyway, says like, okay, and he gives me the prescription. I take a look at the prescription and I went, oh no, thank you. And he's like, what? You're going to be in a lot of pain. And I said, no, I use RSO, Rick Simpson's oil. That should be enough for me. And he's like, good for you, as he's tearing it in half. And it's in my record at the hospital that, I don't want narcotics. Thank you. It makes me sick to my stomach. That's the last thing I need to do with a broken rib.
Yeah, for sure. No kidding. Yeah.
Coughing, I thought I would die. But sneeze? Oh no, hold your nose. Just don't do it.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine how painful that
Hi,
would be.
Lisa. Good to see you. Oh, we just had so much fun over Tarot Love Community. She had a fundraiser. A bunch of us were over there having a great time.
How fun.
I had a good laughing time. So you had to go eat fast. I love it. Yep. You guys are great. So I, at this point, like to recite the Lightworkers pledge. Kind of sets us right for the week. Lets us know, what we do as Lightworkers,
Yeah.
Keep us all straight and focused. So I will put up the overlay so everybody can see it. And you just follow along with me as I read it to you.
All right.
I declare a pledge to love. I will act based on judgments from the heart. I will act not based on judgments of fear or lack. I will act not controlled by self-interest, commercial, or political agendas. I will act attempting to reduce conflict and division. I will act to promote cooperation. I will act to promote consensus. I will act to promote peace. I will act recognizing the quality of all human beings. I will act to pursue a picture of collective truth rather than personal truth. And I will act to acknowledge the responsibility of supporting others in their spiritual awakening. I will act and do not deliberately or knowingly misinform. I declare this pledge in love.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Found that I can't take credit for that. I actually found it online and I was going to, put it in the credits. You cite everything.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful.
Apparently somebody had written it for a thesis or something and it was posted online and then it was gone. So I can't give credit where credit is due, and I love it. It's wonderful. It's what we do. It's everything of what we do.
Yeah.
And it's our whole purpose for being. So When your energy gets low, what do you do to recharge? You have a favorite thing you like to do?
I mean, I think the quick ones are, for me, music and laughter. Those two things, those things bring me a lot of joy. They put me in a good headspace. And I think, with vibration, I think we make it more complicated than it needs to be, because it's very simple. If you've ever felt sad or depressed, or if you have grieved, what those heavier energies feel like. And if you laugh and you're having fun and you have joy and what those light vibrations feel like. So that's what you're aiming for. It's just that lightness, that joy, that peace, contentment, those kinds of things are just, that's what you aim for. And it's a constant, choice, effort.
It is definitely, because it's so easy, especially when we have a tendency to be so impatient. When things don't happen in the amount of time we think it should, we get a little bit of a lag time in there, our egos will kick in and play all kinds of games in your head.
Yeah.
Not true. It's patience. It's, hi, Manic, good to see you, hon. It's and the main thing is too, everything happens for everyone in their own pace, its own time. You can't be in a hurry. It'll happen. Just believe it. Don't doubt it. Believe it. It will happen. Manasa Wellness and I are teaching. We've been kind of spontaneously, we haven't really gotten it down to a regular night, but it's on Tuesdays once in a while. We are teaching different parts of the Nag Hammadi scriptures.
Oh, wow.
It's a wonderful, it's really enjoyable. Tuesday night, we got to teach how to manifest. We were talking
is it on your channel, Katie?
Yes, it is.
And what time?
It was Tuesdays it's the same time as this show, 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock?
5 Pacific. It's not every Tuesday. We've decided we're going to pause until after the first of the year. Yeah, we talked about the Gospel of Thomas, which is all about how to manifest through prayer. So I got how to pray to get what you want. You don't do it with your mouth. You don't do it with your brain. You do it with your heart, and you feel it. You feel it already there. You want a lot of money? You feel like you got a lot of money. I'm going to go look at a Lamborghini tomorrow. This is how you're praying for this. It's here. It's here. Because if you don't believe it, pray for it as it's here, you're introducing lack, which interferes with your will. And they will go, oh, okay, you want lack? Here you go. We'll give you some more.
Exactly. I think, another ingredient in manifesting that when I discovered it, I'm like, oh, that is very true. That you kind of don't want to put limitations on how things can happen, because the universe is very clever, and it can be very it's very clever. It's usually more inventive than we can imagine. So that limitation of like how something can happen, like if you want more money, thinking, well, the only way I can do that is to get a raise. Well, don't do that. Just think, I just need this much more money.
I have this much more money.
I have this much. Exactly. I have it. It's in the universe, or it's on its way. I like to think of it like ordering something from a waiter. You say it, you put it out there, and it's coming. It's on its way. It's here.
Exactly.
But yeah, and I just thought when I thought of that, I thought that's true, because when you limit it, you really, really limit the way things can happen and come in, and
you can actually block it.
Exactly.
Block it.
You miss it, right? You're waiting for one thing and you're missing what's over here,
Exactly. Yeah. We get these preconceived ideas. It's best to be just open and don't have an attachment to the outcome. That's the hardest part, though, because when we're praying, we have major attachments to the outcome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sunlight. Yeah, actually, that's what we're going to be talking about. Mary Magdalene, the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, next time.
Oh gosh.
So yeah,
I think we did Mary Magdalene on our first ladies' night, first or second one. Something. It was one of those. Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah. You're a pianist. Oh, and you love to manifest. Oh boy, I gotta highlight that one. That's beautiful.
Meditate and manifest while playing the piano.
Yeah, no, that's been effective for me. Yes, you know why? Music opens you, and you're meditating, so you're wide open. No, your ego doesn't know what's best. Your ego is the first liar. Your ego is what you need, what we needed as hunter-gatherers to survive the predators that were out there. You needed that. So that's really the only time you really need your ego is when you're in survival mode. Right. And I don't know about you guys. I'm in thrive mode. I passed thrive mode a couple years ago. I've had so many things happen in my life that I've survived that now I'm in thrive mode.
I love that. And that is a prayer, that, meditating to the piano and putting that into the universe, that is a prayer.
Hi, Debsy. Good to see you. I was going to ask an astrologer this because I'm not really good at astrology. I know a little bit, just enough to be dangerous, I think. But I have noticed that certain megahertz will really affect me as an Aquarius. And I'm wondering if each one of the zoological signs has its own megahertz that we plug into when we hear, because certain songs will literally it's like top of my head gets lifted off because the energy just goes, woo. And it's at a certain pitch.
That is interesting, because have you seen those videos where certain music will play and babies will cry, and it's like little like 2 and 3 year olds will be affected emotionally by certain types of music, and that would fit with something like that, right? I mean, it's innate. It's more
So I was thinking about, I need to ask Denise.
What's that?
I need to ask Denise.
Yeah.
Spiritual growth tarot. She would know. I think she would know.
For sure.
That's my thing that I do when I feel totally zapped. I put my earbuds in and I plug into music and I take a nap.
Naps are really
good. Music takes me off in dreamland. And sometimes that's a meditation too. So
yeah, naps are great.
I agree. I don't think it's specifically exclusive to the zodiac, but I think that each one of us has one in the zodiac. I think we have a specific megahertz that speaks to us because we're all so different anyway.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You don't believe in astrology. I love that. That tickles me because, that's the oldest science. The oldest science known to man is astrology. That came before alchemy.
Oh, amazing. That astrology just, it baffles me. It really does. It's one of the most accurate readings I ever had was an astrologer.
Yeah,
I have extremely accurate.
Oh, it's there's spooky.
Yeah.
I actually, Debbie, God bless Debbie. Debbie!
Oh, yeah.
And I saw her and I went, oh God. First thing I did was go to Amazon. Yep. They have them for everything.
A cheat sheet.
Cards,
Perfect.
there's so much on here. I'm going, how am I supposed to even digest this, let alone use this thing? There's so much there.
Wow.
Two-sided.
I'm going to have to get one of those.
I'm
going to have to get one of those.
They're like $9.99. Yeah. But,
perfect.
Yeah. You believe so? Yeah, Lisa. I believe some frequencies may resonate based on childhood, absolutely, and past life, even current ones. Music is magic. And I think that's why a lot of you'll find people who follow the dark side do everything they can to shut down the arts and music. Because that's where magic comes from.
Right.
You know? Yeah, when Denise started, it's like math to you. But you know what? When she starts talking astrology, I can follow her better than some of the others.
Yeah. I'm with Deb. Debsy, it is like another language. It really is. I mean, if you're from the outside, but you know, it's fascinating though. I mean, it really is.
But if you think about it, all the sciences are another language.
Yeah, absolutely.
Computer programming is math, man. Math. You do a declaration statement. You got to tell the computer what you want it to do. I want you to add 2 plus. I need a sum. That's your declaration. Body of it is 2 plus 2. The result is 4. And that's how computers think.
Right.
That's how they calculate and do everything. So, yeah. It's still over your head. Well, you know, I used to subscribe to Gaia TV. Gaia.com. And I took a class with Rick Levine, an astrology 101 class. And the thing that stuck out with me the most was I'm from the generation, we grew up with the fifth dimension singing, you know,
Aquarius,
you know, the life is going to be so harmonious and all that. And the first thing he taught us is, that song's a lie. I'm like, what? He's like, the dawning of the age of Aquarius is way different than the age of Aquarius. And the dawning of the age of Aquarius is a time of chaos. We are in it right now.
How interesting.
Because change has to be seen to be made.
Yeah, that's right.
I was like, oh, wow, that's scary. That means all this time I've been going, oh, just wait until it's time with Aquarius. So wait. Yeah, that's a cool thing, but to get there.
To get there.
You're an Aquarius rising? That's cool. My rising sign is a Gemini. So I got a lot of air up here.
Now, how do you figure out what your rising sign is? How do you do that?
That is all in your diets. I had my chart done. Denise could do that. She's really good at it. She'd do that for you. Yeah, I had my natal chart done, and I'm a Leo moon.
Leo moon.
Ona's tarot. She's like, yeah, look, the hair. Yeah, you got Leo hair. This woman with real short hair is telling me, yeah, look at you. So, but yeah, I am very much to myself, within myself in the Aquarius part, because the Aquarius, you know, we're the water bearer. Right. We carry a lot on our backs. We carry all y'all's emotions on our back. And so that kind of has a tendency to make us appear stuck up, but really what we're doing is just trying to sort it all out. When we get a cause to believe in is when you'll notice an Aquarius, because they will not back down for anything, which is really interesting because this is my goddess card for the month that I pulled.
Oh,
Bridget, don't back down.
Don't back down.
And this is a card for December. Don't back down.
Oh, wow.
Don't back down, you guys.
It does. It just feels like we're on the cusp, you know, of something. Like you said, the energy has shifted.
So you think Jesus was an Aquarius? I think Jesus was all the zodiac signs. I think he's such a master. I love it.
A little
Yes,
bit.
you have to know your date of birth and the time and the location, right, Lisa? Yeah, to be able to get your rising sign and the moon sign.
Okay.
Also, when you start into the trines, and I don't understand that. That's when it becomes over my head. I can tell you
I get
that.
there real fast too.
Yeah, I can tell you the basic traits of each one of the zodiac signs is pretty much, and who's compatible with who and who isn't. I can pretty much tell that, but
Right.
that's it.
Right.
It's about the extent of my astrology knowledge. I have an interesting question. When did you realize that you had these wonderful abilities that you have? When was the first time that you thought, I'm a little different than this guy over here?
Well, I grew up in the Mormon church. So I was always having experiences where I was connecting, but I just called it by different language. Okay. So I would ask a question in prayer before church, and then I would be alert to where the answer was going to come from. Would it come from a talk? Would it come from a song? Would it come from a prayer? Because I knew it was coming. So yeah. I was connecting and communicating, but I was doing it through prayer and just through trust, really just trusting that, that I know it's going to come. Yeah. But after my father passed away, well, my first clairaudient message was about my dad. And I was watching him work in the backyard one day when he was here. He was here actually in the backyard. Mm-hmm. And he was working, and I heard clear as a bell. It was probably August, I think, around that time. And I heard clear as a bell, he won't be here next summer. Mm-hmm. And I thought, and I knew what I heard, and I thought to myself, like you said, your mind comes in, your ego comes in. Why would I think that? What a horrible thing to think. What is wrong with me? What's going on?
Yes.
But I couldn't shake it. And that's one of the ways you know it's a message is because you can't shake it. It sticks with you. And he was diagnosed with cancer that October, and then he was gone by February. So he was, and it wasn't, when Spirit gives you messages like that, because it seems like a doomsday message, but it really,
no.
When I got that message, every single moment I spent with my dad was precious, because it flipped something in me that was like, what if he was gone next summer? And every single moment after that message became so special. I was so present, so aware, so awake. Mm-hmm. So it really was a gift. And, but that was like the first clairaudient message where I thought that was something that was different than what I had been doing before. Yeah.
I had something similar like that happen too. My mom's best friend had throat cancer, and she was down here in Phoenix, and we were living in Arizona, or up in Oregon. And she was getting very bad. So my mom came down to be with her, to spend some time with her. And then she flew back up. And the whole thing was to get my father and I also down here to tell her goodbye before, to come back. So we all drove down here in a hurry trying to get here to race to beat her leaving. And all I kept hearing was, there's no sense to hurry. She's gone. She's going to be gone. There's no sense in hurrying. She's not going to be there. We got as far as Las Vegas, staying with my aunt and uncle. And that morning, my mom got the call. She passed away. She didn't want us to see her frail.
Right.
And passed before we could get there. And we were desperately trying to get there. And I knew when the phone rang that that's what the call was. That, yeah, she had passed. She was gone. Happened again about 6 months later with my great aunt. Got a phone call, and my mom answered the phone. My mom went, oh, and I went, my great aunt just passed away. And told my friend, my great aunt just passed away.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah. And I never made that connection that was anything special. That was anything different.
Right.
I was raised a Southern Baptist. So it's interesting. You were raised a Mormon. I was raised a Southern Baptist, and I lived at Bryce Canyon National Park.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I was raised in the National Park Service. That's how I ended up in Oregon. So, yeah, I lived at Bryce Canyon for 2 years as a child. It was so bizarre to go to church because church was held in a single wide mobile home, and everything that wasn't Mormon was in there.
Yeah. I could imagine. Yeah, Utah, you're
it was like
in Mormon country for sure.
The living room was the sanctuary, in a single wide mobile home that's not very big.
Oh, yes. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, small town, obviously. Panguitch, Utah. It's still a town.
Oh, wow. I've never heard of that before.
It's a little tiny town. It's near Kanab.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, the first time I noticed that there was anything really, really different, I was 4. So.
Wow.
I knew there had to be more. I had questions. Sunday school didn't make sense because they didn't tell you there's big holes in the story. I didn't understand. Why don't we know? Why can't you answer that for me? And so we were at Easter Sunday, sunrise service at the Grand Canyon. That was my first national park. And there's the Eagle Kachina was doing his dance as the sun was coming up, and it radiated behind him. And I can remember thinking, yeah, there's more. I know there's more. From that point on, I never stopped questioning everybody, all the authorities in the church and stuff. They get really mad at me because the questions that I would ask. Why don't we know what happened between Jesus when he was a little boy to 30 years old? What the hell?
Right.
Stuff like that. Yeah. And they couldn't answer. I always asking questions they couldn't answer. Because
and I think that's
we're not supposed to know a lot of that.
Curiosity is what a lot of times that curiosity is telling you something. It's when you're searching for those answers, it's they're out there, so you're searching.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your birthday was supposed to be October 15th, Jenny? Now that would have made you a Libra.
Oh.
Instead of a Scorpio. Cool. My brother's a double Scorpio.
Oh, really?
You want to talk about stubborn? Wow. And you don't ever want him to get mad at you because he never forgets and he doesn't forgive.
Oh, really?
He's really hard to deal with. This Aquarius hippie girl has a John Birch double. Yeah, the John Birch Society. Wow. Double Scorpio for a brother. And Danny Shea talks about his hillbilly brother. We need to compare brothers.
Yeah.
My brother lived close to Danny Shea. That's what's funny.
Oh my gosh, how funny.
Oh, thank you, Aiden. Thank you.
Thank you, Aiden.
You need to come back, young man. He's been here.
Oh, nice. Yeah, he's a sweetheart. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I thank you so much, you guys. This has been so much fun. I always end this with this little quote. Shine your light and make a positive impact on the world. There's nothing so honorable as helping improve the lives of others. Give, be generous, be kind to those you come across, especially those who are not kind to you. And most of all, you guys, be kind to one another. Be kind to yourself. Take care of you, because without you, there's no reason for any of the rest of us to be here. So thank you. I love you guys so very much. And thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you, Kim.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Katie. It's been a blast. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, thank you. Bye-bye now.